Guess who arrived a bit fucking late to the ball game? Ha 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 ha. I don't know sports. So at last, after a month of not getting the new Blu-ray because I thought it was too expensive, it was fucking $60. Thanks, I finally was able to obtain it at New York Comic Con 2017. And where other people have already compared the two, I will give my comparison of the two in the worst way that I do things. Okay, so let's begin with the DVD release by Warner Brothers and the Blu-ray. Here we go. I actually snapped, oh my god. The casing! Okay. So, let's just look at the two casings for the DVDs. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the complete first seasons, the Warner Brothers one. It sucks. It's just your cardboard kind of cover. If you let the sun get to it too much, it turns blue. That was my mistake, not really their fault. The art on it's nice. I like the Joseph and Jonathan on here. I like the pattern in the background. They certainly know what they were at least doing with the aesthetic. The background's kind of interesting, too. This is a picture of Jonathan. 3 clips from the series, one of Jonathan, only one of Jonathan, and 2 of Joseph, and one with Caesar. Includes the episode titles for Phantom Blood and for Battle Tendency. Overall, nothing really special to this one at all. The green's nice, but that's about it. Now for the Blu-rays. The Blu-rays box is actually really good. It's more in line with the aesthetic than the previous one was. I like the whole color thing they did with Jonathan and Joseph on these. The font's interesting. I don't know why they chose it for JoJo's. I mean, I know that JoJo's is a kind of spooky series with, like, at least the first season is, with its whole zombies and vampires and thing, but I don't know. I don't hate this font. I just thought it was weird for JoJo's. There's that pattern that's on all the cards that came with it, and then you got the whole diamond pattern from the Tom Petty video all over in the background, all that. I like that a lot. I don't really know what these patterns are about, honestly. It says set 1 because they still gotta do part 3 now that that's coming out. Joseph's is pretty alright. The leg looks weird, but that's gonna happen when it's JoJo's. But the interesting part is you can open it up. Is that you can open it up. On the inside is a purple variation of the whole Tom Petty pattern. This is also the pattern that's also featured on the back of the cards. I also have to say, hey, I like this purple design because it's very in touch with JoJo's aesthetic-wise. Like, if you've seen JoJo's, you'll come across this aesthetic at some point, especially if you played Eyes of Heaven. That's like sprinkled around there all around. Those were the casings. Now we go on to the actual DVD. I need to make sure my computer doesn't overheat. Okay, so the DVDs, the DVD casing. Okay, so the actual DVD boxes themselves for the DVDs. Let's take a look. I'll say this. This one's a little bit boring, like compared to like the whole box they included and everything. I think it's a little bit boring. I like the whole pattern again. I think that is literally the exact same pattern that they had around it, but now it's just edited. I just noticed that. Both of these have the same image of Jonathan and Joseph, only this is a full body image, and this one is, well, just half of it. I can understand why this one's more simpler. It's because it comes with the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray itself, it's like the main show there, so it doesn't really matter. That font doesn't really come out well on this, but that's not anybody's fault. You can't really fix that. I like seeing this on, like, here, really. I like seeing the JoJo logo on the spine of the DVD. It really catches the eye. I enjoy how it, like, came out, because it would have been very boring had they not, went with that same kind of font. Okay, so, the back of this one has just has various clips throughout, like, both versions of the season. I like that. It's not just, like, the first. I like the back of this one because it actually includes, like, multiple clips from throughout the season. You got, like, Tarkus, you got, like, the Stone Mask, you got Jonathan, you got Joseph's eye, I think, I don't know. You got Dio, I think, you got zombies who die, you got Arena, you got Cars, you got Joseph, you got the Red Son of Asia. You got that whole pattern they're still using for some reason. I can't figure out what that pattern is. It's just odd. Here you get like a listing of what's included. You got like the main 4 DVDs, the whole episodes, all that. It's in 1080p. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio, and then you get both the English and the and then you get both the English and the Japanese, all that, and then you get English subtitles. The thing that I primarily use when doing this. Special features include a clean opening and ending, an art gallery, trailers, all that. And the duration is approximately 624 minutes. I learned that the hard way because I read it and I didn't understand what that meant. It's exactly the fucking... As for the non-Blu-ray DVD, it's exactly the fucking same to like the casing it was in. It's... I don't even know why the fuck... Out of the two descriptions of the plot, I think the Blu-rays does it better. Not to say that this one is bad. Pause if you want to read it. But I feel that this one captures it more than the other one does. I feel it really like gives you a sense of like what all the plots are, instead of just like one of them. Also, pause if you want to read it. Now the discs themselves. Something I also neglected is if you take off like the cover and the back for the Blu-ray, you get like this pattern of like the stone mask, sound effects, different things, all that. The word JoJo constantly, and then a star and a hand, like a star representing the Joestar lineage, and then the hand representing Jotaro, who gets teased at the end of the first season. That's not a spoiler; it's everywhere. The first DVD that includes episodes 1 through 7, you get a picture of Jonathan in that same kind of format as that was on the box, like before. This is him from I think, this is an image of him from one of the Blu-rays in Japan, if I remember. This picture of Dio is from the other side of this picture of Jonathan. When you put them together, you get that wicked poster. This one includes episodes 8 through 13 and finishes the Phantom Blood arc. Here's the beginning of Battle Tendency. This is also from one of the Blu-rays. This is after the whole, Caesar death thing. Spoiler, but you know that because you're in the JoJo's. This one includes episodes 14 through 20. And this is the last DVD, which includes episodes 21 through 26, and also the special features. And again, this picture of Caesar is not from the Blu-rays, but in fact is from the ending of the Battle Tendency sections of the episodes. Now here's the regular DVDs ones, and you can see my reflection because it's a reflective material this time around instead of like those stickers I got. I don't fucking know. So this is the entirety of the Phantom Blood part. It has a purple. It looks blue on camera, but it has a purple line art picture of the stone mask. On the other side is the beginning of the Battle Tendency parts, and that just has a line art of the screenshot of the Red Son of Asia from the opening again. This includes like the beginning of part 2, and this has that same image of Joseph that we saw before. Again, also in line art. There are no special features on the discs at all for these two, but you will notice that there's only 3 DVDs instead of 2. That's one benefit about these. They were able to condense all part 1 into one disc and spread out part 2 into 2 discs, because it was on 3 discs for the Blu-ray. The subtitles are much better on the Blu-ray release than they are in the dub, because I'm going to only call it the dub because it's only the dub's subtitles. Yeah, no, the subtitles for the Blu-ray are so much better than, like, they're more faithful to the original, like, Japanese dub. I mean, of course, they had to change names as well. But it's definitely, like, it's definitely better than the one that they had for the, it's definitely better than the one that they had for the non-Blu-ray release. For those wondering, no, this one is not the bad animation with the censored bits, and this one isn't. No, they're both the Blu-ray footage. One's just in better quality than the other. Now on to the DVD menus! Usually it's just the same patterns that we saw before, going across the screen while different tracks from the soundtrack play for a little bit and then fade into one another, as we get transparent line art images of the villains and heroes of the series just going across screen. They're from various promotional arts, various Blu-rays, various endings, all that. They're just going across there, all the music changes. The special features, like I said, are the clean openings and endings, so it's just the openings and endings without text, or the subtitles. And then you also have the art gallery, which just shows artwork for parts 1 and 2. This shows stuff that was you can see in the AAA book. So you got like stuff from their calendars, but you also got concept art for the characters and other concept art you don't usually see from them, like for the environments, which was like unique for me. It's just it's very interesting, like seeing certain stuff that even they haven't shown in other books. It's very reminiscent of the original JoJo Blu-rays from Japan. I'll say that I've only seen them in a video that somebody did reviewing them, but they definitely were faithful to that. They had a weird advertisement for Lego Batman movie. Yeah, so they also had an advertisement for Scooby-Doo Meets Kiss. And this is the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the complete first season's DVD. Yeah, so this is the DVD menu. I'm gonna edit out the music because I don't know if I can play it. As you can see, this is very lazy. It's very similar to the box. Has the artwork more in full, sort of, but again, you don't got them full body. The quality also isn't that good of this, but I don't know. So you got 3 options. You got play, you got the episodes, and then you got languages. For subtitles, you got English and Espanol, or no subtitles. And for language, you got English or Japanese, and that's about it for that. And then they got all the episodes. Mind you, they don't. This is not a pleasant DVD menu. There are no special features at all on any of these discs. So that's pretty much it for the. DVD. Let's zoom in on Jonathan's face. Now the main cool things about the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray released a production book of key animations of different scenes throughout the first season. I also mentioned that there is another book containing the first and second, technically third season as well, of basically just part 1 through 3, their key animation books and such, all their promotional art and all that in the AAA JoJo book. But it doesn't contain a lot. This contains a lot more than it did, but at the same time doesn't contain a lot either, because they also have to keep it limited to each episode, because you're just like, oh, I want to see all of them, but then you're just really watching a rough version of the anime. But it's cool seeing the different pictures and such. I definitely enjoyed that and all that. Oh man, look at this. And then you also got the anime's director talking about his favorite moments from the anime, talking about his favorite scenes, talking about what went into the whole making of the episode, behind the scenes stuff, and it's very fun. All that. He finds a lot of things funny in the series that really should not be found funny. And the whole book itself is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Star, Key Animation Collection Star, Phantom Blood, and Battle Tendency. And then say the same thing, sort of on the back. You got the little to be continued. You got your little roundabout meme right there. And then there's the picture of Santana from a page inside the book. My dad's just left to get dinner. And then you got the stone mask on the cover, and the same pattern throughout. Again, good book. This one's a bit different, though. It has all those dots on it, like the kind you see throughout the part 2 segment, because it's the 30s, and comics were big in the... You got your JoJo, 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 you got your JoJo again. You got your Dio, you got your Dio, you got your Caesar, you got your Zeppeli, you got your Speedweed, you got your Spagwagon, you got your Stroheim, you got your Lisa, you got your Ace the Dead, you got your Whammo, you got your Wham, you got your Kaz, you got your Stroheim, unless I already said that, but he's not doing a Nazi pose, so that's okay. And the main reason I wanted the Blu-ray here, I also wanted it for the other things too, because the first season's DVD before that was crap. But one of the main reasons I wanted to get this was these cool ass JoJo cards. Maybe not that cool ass, but I like them. They got they got the pictures of the JoJo characters from the Blu-rays that came out in Japan on them. So that's one thing I really like about this. Well, I mean, some are changed in the case of Stroheim because Nazi pose and all that. You couldn't have that on Blu-ray, but I like the new pose that they did for him. I love that one a lot, and that's Cyborg Stroheim too, the only version of Stroheim I like. So that made me especially happy. I think that I really do like the art that they have on it. You got like little details that you wouldn't normally get through, like in the anime itself. You got like this little pattern on Zeppeli's like jacket there. You got like a crest in his hat, a crease. Is that what you got? I don't know. You got like Speedwagon being all purple and shit. You got Jonathan in his like whole outfit that he wore when he was like in Ogre Street. By the way, what the fuck's up with his legs? A lot of these pictures are more easily available online, minus the Stroheim one. I really enjoy the level of detail that went into the costumes for the characters for the anime. I really do like that. I think it's weird that Jonathan has blue hair, but honestly, I love that. And the color choices are good sometimes. Not all the times, but most of the times especially. But Joseph, button the fucking shirt up! I love this little detail of like just random text on Speedwagon's like little newspaper there. I like that they even included Old Speedwagon because most people forget about Old Speedwagon. I kind of like the anime's color scheme for Caesar. I think his bandana is too fucking big. I mean, I never realized that up until recently. That is way too fucking big, especially when compared to the original. I don't even think the original one had that, now that I think about it. I think it's a bit unfair that the Pillarmen are on the backs of somebody, but then again, it's your own choice to organize this. It's definitely unfair that Joseph's on 3 of them. I think that should have been changed with somebody else. Imagine Straizo of all people on there. Yeah, that's great. And I also really like this pose for AC/DC. A lot of people I feel forget AC/DC, but not as much as people forget about Santana. My God. There's Santana with Stroheim's hair, and then there's Stroheim. Again, like I said, this is like my favorite pose. I'm obsessed with most things Stroheim related. I have to get something, and this is the only thing. This is like one of the only things that's not widely available. So I had to try. There's Wamu with his horses, and then there's Joseph on the back. Again, why is he on multiple of these? But I love this one most of all because of the fucking rainbow pattern on the back. That's just very much in line with the whole fight that occurred. Also, don't worry, they fit all snugly into this little package. Overall, do I feel that either of these are a good investment? I think so. I say this one if you need to get the JoJo anime and you want to get it cheap. But you will get bad subtitles, and you will get a very bad design with it. But overall, it's still the same anime. But again, if you don't like the dub like me, you'll be very disappointed with the subtitles, considering they're dub-only subtitles. But if you want to dish out the cash to get a very premium version of the first season with some added goodies into that and have proper subtitles and have a proper presentation, have amazing footage, noticing details you wouldn't before, even with this version, I would highly recommend this. If only it wasn't almost fucking 70 fucking I just think that it was a little bit too expensive for what was said, but I highly recommend it. Christmas is coming up soon. At the time of this video, it is going to be Halloween next week, so I would definitely recommend getting the Blu-ray version. And Part 3 is currently on television. If you enjoy Star Wars Crusaders and you want to see it in English, I highly recommend it. Please go buy these at your local Walmart or Barnes & Noble or Amazon, whichever one. Amazon's not really local. That is a website. And I also highly recommend reading the manga. Both, I say you can pick up the JoJo Neums for parts 1 through 3 at Barnes & Noble or Amazon or your local bookstore. They're still coming out with part 3, so don't worry. And you can read parts 4 through 8 elsewhere, as well as the Spoke Kishibe Rohan spin-off. That's a good OVA, by the way. I know people say that the animation looks weird, but I disagree. Part 8's art style just hasn't been used to animation before, and I think they're doing a good job. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to show you a really fucking funny DVD menu. He just fucking phases into existence, holy shit!